Hello, everyone. This is Suzanne Knaber-Nicole from Police Science Doctor with your weekly dose of police science snippets. These snippets are 3 golden nuggets of recently published research findings in the fields of investigative psychology, evidence-based policing, police science, etc. Every Tuesday, I talk about them in these social media areas and put them into context a little bit. And I also send them straight into your inbox with a link to the original research article if you're already on the Police Science Doctor email list. If you're not already on the list, it's simple and free to join. Just Google Police Science, go to policesciencedoctor.com and enter your details into the form that pops up. If it doesn't pop up, simply scroll to the bottom of any page and enter your details into the form there. So the snippets we've got for this week, the first one is about lie detection. In this study, the extent to which police officers differed from lawyers, insurers, and teachers, as in other professionals confronted with lies, and non-professionals in their actual and subjective lie detection performances was investigated. All groups performed around chance level when deciding whether a person portrayed in the videos was lying or telling the truth. So people, we are about as good as flipping a coin on whether we can tell whether a person is lying or not, even though many of us think we're better than that. However, police officers were more realistic in their lie detection performances, while the other professionals and non-professionals overestimated their performances. This article is actually open access, which means you can click on the link in the email and read the entire piece front to back. Articles that are not open access, unfortunately, are behind a subscription wall. So unless you or your institution are subscribed and already have access to this particular publisher and this particular journal, you won't be able to read the entire article, but you'll still be able to see the abstract. This is the case for the second snippet, actually. That's not open access. You can read the abstract. It's a long paragraph that tells you what the study was about, how it was done, and what it found. But the first and third snippet for this week is actually open. They are open access, so you can read the entire piece. So this second snippet is about grooming detection. Grooming is commonly used by perpetrators of child sexual abuse to initiate and sustain abuse. This study explored whether school-aged children can identify adults' grooming tactics. Direct detection increased in scenarios involving repeated encounters combined with secrecy and isolation. Age effects were conditional. Direct detection increased with age, primarily in private settings with secrecy, but not in public settings, especially when it was a repeated interaction. Indirect detection was higher when the adult was a custodian and when the child in this story was a girl. So these children were read scenarios, were given scenarios. So here's some information that perhaps can be used to educate children on what to look out for, and if they have experienced or are aware of any such goings on, to speak to a trusted adult. And the third and last snippet for this week, which is open access, is about using the phone versus Notepad. So this is about police interactions with the public on the street. So, you know, people used to have these notebooks, these pocket notebooks, PMBs, and there's a specific way of filling them in. And the study looked at how people feel when an officer is taking notes in that, when they're not taking notes, or when they're taking notes in a phone. Few studies have examined how citizens perceive officers' use of everyday tools, such as mobile phone devices, in practice. We addressed this gap by assessing citizens' perceptions of different note-taking modalities during a routine police encounter. Using a notepad was perceived more favorably than not taking notes, and then taking notes using a phone, and generated a greater likelihood of future engagement with police than the no device condition. Police agencies may benefit from informing officers about the potential harmful effects of mobile phone use during face-to-face encounters. Traditional pen and paper methods may produce more favorable attitudes towards police. You can read the entire article if you click on the link in my email. So this is actually quite interesting, because even when somebody's doing something very relevant and useful on their phone, from the outside, it does always look a little bit like they're disinterested and doing their own thing. So in police public interactions, it's very, very important how the police are perceived. And it turns out then when police are using their phone, even if it's for something relevant, that's perceived more negatively than either not using a phone or using the notepad. And actually the notepad is the most promising modality, as they call it. And I remember I was in a job a few years ago. I was working in an office, and I just had, when my boss told me something, I started writing things down in my notebook. And he said to me once that he finds it very reassuring because he knows it's going to get done. It's not going to get forgotten because I wrote it down straight away. So maybe the public see it that way as well. You tell them something, you tell the officer something, the officer starts writing it down. You know it's recorded. It's not going to be rubbed out. It's not going to be erased. So that gives that reassurance. And obviously, the public image is very, very important. The public opinion of police is very important. So these were the 3 snippets for this week. Obviously, I can't cater to all of your different professions in all the different jobs you've got around the world. So if you have already joined the Police Science Doctor email list, you will have received in that email and in every Tuesday's email the password for the read page. And the read page has all the previous snippets on PDFs. So we've got 298 PDFs there with 3 snippets each. Just scroll through them and have a look to see which ones have some fine research findings about your particular role. So thank you very much for listening. I'll see you again next week. Until then, stay safe and make good decisions. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.